Everything I expected. He's brought intensity to the program. He's brought discipline to the program. Everything that we've needed on the football field, off the football field, he's done everything that we needed for this football team to become better. So everything he's brought to the table has been really good so far. Not necessarily in what we're trying to achieve. Coach Shula was trying to achieve the same thing. He wanted to make us better men off the field, want to make us better football players on the field. That's all the same with Coach Saban. But Coach Saban brings a different mentality about it. I think guys take on to Coach Saban a little bit more because of what he's brought, what he's done in the past, his credentials. He's a winner. I feel like all that, even though you really don't want it to play a part in it, it does, because he's a proven winner. He's a guy that he's demanding, he's intense. So when he says something, right away it needs to be done. It's no error for being lazy around Coach Saban. It's kind of what his football team needed. Oh, incredible. Coach Applewhite he's a special guy. I think the whole football team has found that out early. He's an intense guy as well, but he was at Texas. He was a winner there. A lot of the guys have taken on to him, and plus he's a younger guy, so he kind of knows what we've gone through. He hasn't been removed from college that long, so he knows about what areas of adversity we face in college. So it's good to have a guy like that we can relate to, other than Coach Saban or any of the other coaches. I feel like it's an honor. It's it's an opportunity that this offensive line has, and it's one of the best offensive lines I've been around. Period. It's probably the best that we've been since I've been here. A lot of that's due to experience, but I can go down the line. Andre Smith's one of the best offensive linemen I've ever been around. Justin Britt, Marlon Davis, B.J. Stables healthy. Chris Cass, everybody's gotten better. We put in countless hours of film, countless hours of drills, and everything that we've done seems like it's going to make us a better football team. We're just hoping that carries over on the field.
Antoine, what about the experience factor, learning a new offense that everybody's back in offenses that help, even though it's a different offense than learning?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like a lot of guys, experience-wise, it helps you grasp everything he's putting in front of us a little bit quicker than if we didn't. Concepts change, but the accomplishment you're trying to make doesn't change. We're all trying to achieve the same thing, and I feel like even with Coach Pendry, which our offensive line coach now, with Coach Conley when he was here, everybody we're attacking the offensive line. We want to be physical. It's all the same. It's just different concept. The way they put things together might make it a little bit easier to understand or to grasp. And us being experienced up front on the offensive line has made it a lot easier, a lot smoother transition that we've had. Oh yeah, yeah. Man, the toughest everything, mentally, physically, off the field. It's just the toughest thing we've been through. Coach Saban brought a program. It's called the fourth quarter program, and it entails of commitment, effort, discipline, and toughness. And that's what you need on the field. It's what you need in life. It's what you need in general. And that's what Coach Saban has brought to the table. And just seeing guys like Andre Smith that was at all-time high in weight when he came out of high school, and maybe last year, seeing now that he's trimmed down, lost a lot of weight, and he's already a great offensive lineman, and that puts him a step ahead of where he was last year. Just giving himself a better chance to do certain things, to move a little bit better. And like I said, I feel like a lot of guys have benefited so much from this program. It's really exciting for us. Yeah, we got Patrick Crump from Hoover, looks great. Real physical guy, real athletic. William Vallejos from Mount Brook, another guy that looks great. Like I said, the whole recruiting class that we have is one of the best I've seen, just all around. Athletes, Rolando McClain looks great. Josh Chapman is another good one, defensive lineman. And like I said, this whole recruiting class is a great class for athletes, linemen, skill position. The whole works. They look pretty good. It's obvious, red zone. We got to put some points up. And a lot of that, you can kind of say it's a lot of things. Maybe we weren't finishing enough. You can blame whatever you want to blame, play calling, whatever. But when it's all said and done, we got to make it happen. Us, the players on the field, no matter what the play is, we got to make it happen. And I feel like with the program that we've been doing, we've preached and finishing strong, how hard we've worked in the off season. I know if I'm down on the 3-yard line, I think about everything I've been through in this off season. That's going to make me put the ball in the end zone. So, my offensive line coach does a great job of letting us know when we get down that close on the 3 or the 2-yard line, score with your feet. Everybody get in the end zone. Everybody do that, and so that's going to be in the back of our mind as we start this season. Well, to me, the sky's the limit. I'm be a realist. We do face some tough opponents like we do every year. LSU's good, Auburn's good, Arkansas's good. You want to win every game you can win, but also like Coach Saban has told us, and I'm sure he's told you guys, it's a process. He's not going to show up and just boom, magic 13-0 season. Whether we would like that, we would love that. That's what we prepare for, but just being realistic about it. Coach Saban, he knows it's going to be a process. We know it's going to be a process. We just got to take it a week at a time. I remember when I was a redshirt freshman and we started out 9-0. At that point in time, I never would have thought that we were going to be 9-0. But after a while, you just kind of look around. You're like, dang, we're 9-0, number 3 in the country. So you take it week by week, and that's what we're going to do. Definitely the number one player I would say is Mike McCoy, one of our receivers. I mean, DJ Hall has actually been like, man, this guy's turned into just a monster out there when we're practicing. 7-on-7, the running. It's like a switch just came on. And he's always been an incredible athlete. But, he went through a phase where, maybe he didn't know his plays well enough. But, the guy, I've watched him during 7-on-7 out there snapping, during practice and during drills. He's just turned into a completely different person and player. And I can't speak enough for how well he's done in this off-season program. So we're really excited about him. Well, not really. I feel like I said earlier, Coach Shula and Coach Saban they brought the same thing to the table. They wanted to make us better football players. They wanted to make us better men off the field. Like I said, Coach Saban's approach may be a little bit more intense and more demanding, and maybe that's what this football team needed. But like I said, Coach Shula wasn't easy either. I remember the practices were tough. Everything we did was tough with Coach Shula. I just feel like what the biggest difference between those two guys is Coach Saban has become a proven winner. He's won at LSU. He's went to the Dolphins. He's been around. It's just the credentials. You bring that to a table, and you're like, man, we're excited about playing for Coach Saban. So that's what he's done, and we're trying to meet everything he's bringing to the table by what we're doing, by bringing our part, by working hard and getting ready for the season. We're working hard. That's all I can say. Working hard.